Welcome to another episode of Power On, the Rheinhausen podcast. Today's topic is about hydrogen, in particular green hydrogen. Industries across the world have the goal to decarbonize their factories. And green hydrogen is seen as a crucial element for emission-free production, especially for metal production, steel production, chemical transportation, and more. Before I raise the question why and how is it affecting the energy sector, I want to introduce my guest. It's Helton Bezerra. He is Global Key Account Manager for Green Hydrogen. Hi, Helton. Great to have you here.
Thank you so much for having me here.
Before we dive deeper into the topic, why and how it is a topic for the energy sector, for whom they may not be familiar with the topic hydrogen, what is hydrogen, and in particular, what is green hydrogen?
Christian, let's try to back to our middle school. I'd like to invite you to come to this to this time where our teacher, probably our chemistry teacher, invited us to get two pencils, put in a salt water, and connect it in a battery. So in that case, after some minutes or seconds, we can just recognize some bubbles around there. So in that case, it was exactly the way to produce hydrogen during that time. So just to confirm you that is nothing new, we learned it already from the past. And if you just recognize on the Earth, the big amount of hydrogen is on the water, where you have the H2O. So exactly this is the process to split out this H2O.
It's a nice example. What I remember from school time is that it is the lightest element what we have. I'm aware of that there are different colors for the hydrogen. There's purple existing and some others. For what does these different colors stand for?
I think there are many different colors established already on the market, but most of them it's related with the fossil fuel. The 100 green or clean energy comes from the green hydrogen, which is connected directly with the renewables generation side. In that case, solar or wind power.
Does biomass also go into that?
Yeah, there are some discussion about that, but at the moment they are focused more on the solar and also the wind one. Yeah, okay. But it was exactly as you mentioned. There are different colors. The most common discussion comes on the blue color and the gray color, but as I said, both of them comes from the fossil fuel.
So emission-free is only green, therefore we talk about green hydrogen.
You're right.
Can you explain how you did it already a little bit with the experiment when we remember back in the school time? Mm-hmm. But imagine it bigger, how it is produced and what role plays it in the context for the energy sector?
I think at the moment we are exactly on this energy transition. Comes from different meetings. At the moment happened already during this week in Dubai, the COP28. And it comes exactly during this point to discuss about what's going on with our world and mainly related with the CO2 emission. So in that case, hydrogen, it was proven already as a solution because it's not a new one. It's a reality right now that we can use this one for the energy transition. This is clean. Of course, there are some topics to discuss about that, related technology and so on. But of course, this is the new word for us. It will be related with the green hydrogen production.
So what are some key applications for green hydrogen? And what is the impact to contributing to sustainable energy?
At the moment, just based on the last reports, there are some different committees used to prepare on this. We can say that transport, heating or cooling process, and also the industries emitting more around 60% of the CO2 comes from these three energy sectors. Just looking for Germany, for example, there are some different activities related with the steel industry, which more than 7 different projects are running to change the way to make the steel. And so in that case, we can see that Germany is one of the countries who is in front of this. But not only the country here, but in different countries, they are moving to other sectors. For example, how to decarbonize, for example, the transport. If you're just looking for the airplanes, for example, or to the ship, the vessels, more and more they are working to decarbonize the sector because they are the bed for the related with the CO2 emission.
When you look on the pie diagram, a lot is coming from the transport.
You're right.
You mentioned an airplane. Is there already something existing, or is there our plans to build one?
Well, at the moment, there are some conversations. The big companies, the airplane companies, they are in this conversation already or with technologies. But just for a small example that I've seen already, a small airplane for 8 passengers, they are flying already 100% combusted by hydrogen. Again, this is not for the future. This is a reality right now. And at the moment, they are planning for the next year, it will be expanded to 80 passengers. So not in a small size, but they are planning already in a big size related with the aviation sector. Yeah.
What are the key considerations for a successful green hydrogen project when we start to build it?
Yeah, it's a good question because when I used to be part of different events or seminars, they are discussing mainly related with the hydrogen costs. So how the hydrogen, it will be cheaper cost than the fossil fuels. This is the main idea. The marketing are looking for that because it will be exactly the point to do 100% from fossil fuels to the green world. So in that case, different technologies pop-upping at this moment. Different sectors are working on that way. As I mentioned to you, for example, the steel factories, it's a reality right now. The transport is also a reality. And so new technologies, new demands, new factories to produce new electrolysers and so on. Yeah, they will happen soon.
So it's currently cost related, but there are maybe other challenges which the industry is currently facing?
I think at the moment, what we are doing when we produce hydrogen using the electrolysis process, it's to change the green electron, which comes from the wind farm and also the PV, the solar farm, into the green molecule. So in that case, it can be very versatile. So you can use, for example, transport and the other things. So I think the key is how to use this green molecule, which can be storage, which can be transport, which can be also considered as a commodity for the future. So this is the key success for this energy transition.
I heard also something I can do a little bit more with hydrogen. I can also produce ammonia with it.
You're right. Yes. There are some additional process to consider this one. But yes, you can convert this hydrogen, the green hydrogen, to the green ammonia, which can be used also on the fertilizers, agriculture process. But not only in the ammonia, you can also consider to change it to methanol. There is one plant in Chile, which is supported by the German government also, which at this plant in Chile, they are producing green methanol in that case, and they are exporting already.
Okay, so we have methanol, green methanol, and also green ammonia.
Exactly.
Out of green hydrogen.
You are right.
Are there some projects or some success stories where you have been involved or you are aware of under the green hydrogen umbrella?
One of them, it was exactly this project in Chile, which is already in production. There are some difference here in Germany, but not in a big scale. We are talking about 5 to 10 megawatts, which is not so big. It's important, but it's not so big. But we've moved to another part of the world. For example, very close to us in Netherlands, they are producing already one big project around there, 200 megawatts to produce hydrogen, and where we are also deeply involved on the project. But I think the biggest one that most of the time we heard from the news or in different committees, conversations from Saudi Arabia. At the moment, they are investing in a big city around there, which will be supply 100% green. This is the main idea for the country, and it will be supplied via hydrogen production. The project around there, it's estimating 2 gigawatts in different stages. But we luckily also being part of these projects and design and so on together with different investors, EPCs and so on.
Are there recent technology advancements in the field of green hydrogen that they have caught your personal attention?
Yeah, there are different conversations related with technologies. It's funny because from one day to another day, the technology can be shown in a different way. And there are different institutes working on that or different PhD cases or master and so on in order to better produce hydrogen in the world. There are some technologies already established, which is part of our knowledge here, right now. But the new technologies will come soon. Yes or yes. There is no chance to.
So with better, you mean more the efficiency is higher, the costs go down,
Exactly.
more standardized, scaling effects, right?
You're right. Yeah. At the moment, there are big discussion about how to scaling mainly the electrolyzer. So we can see in a different part of the world big investments on that way in India, in China, here in Europe, in South America, in US. So the big players related with the electrolyzers manufacturing are also investing in different parts of the world in order to scaling this electrolyzer production.
So there are projects planned around the globe.
You're right. I have to say that 70% of the world it's already or has been already presented the hydrogen for the future as a solution for the green movements of the energy. So in that case, the energy transition is already established for most of the important countries in the world in a paper, in a document, and so on. And they used to follow this. Some countries up to 2040, some countries up to 2050. But yes, 2050 is the must, according to the last meeting that they have in Paris, for example.
In our first episode, which I had as Mr. Breuer, our managing director, as our guest, he mentioned also, of course, we need batteries to store the electricity. It's a short-term solution only. But he mentioned also hydrogen. So it's a key element for the energy sector in the future also to store energy, right?
You're right. Or if you can consider, for example, the batteries example, how to put batteries, for example, to fly aircraft. So in that case, you need a big airplane just to fly the batteries. So in that case,
they're very heavy.
You're right. So in that case, for example, the hydrogen is the best solution instead of batteries. But of course, there are another applications which the battery it's better than the hydrogen. But we can see already here in Europe, it's also not new. There are some cars already, some different brands. They have already invest a lot of money on new developments to running the car with the hydrogen. And we can see already you can fulfill your car here in different stations with the hydrogen.
Yeah, South Korea, there's also a car manufacturer who has a model available which is running with hydrogen, right?
You're right.
Helton, are there some standards already existing or planned in the industry for green hydrogen?
Yeah, Christian. There are many discussions about certifications and standardization because one of the most common topic comes to certify that this hydrogen is 100% green. So in that case, it's planning already different committees, studies, and I've just recognized this topic due to the presence in different events which I used to be part of. So different countries and different parts of the world for example, in Abu Dhabi, here in Europe, and also in US, there are common discussion about the standardization related with the hydrogen, and which means that in the near future we will see hydrogen as a commodity. So all the countries will be produce the hydrogen for internal consumption, but of course they will prepare to export to another countries. This is definitely a reality right now.
Yeah. Is SIGRE, the expert committee, also planning something on that?
They are studying already. There are some groups in discussion. And I just recognized from one contact that I have in Brazil that SIGRE will come to this group with more than 200 participants, and all the sectors are involved on this topic. So not only the utilities, for example, but also investors, electrolyzer manufacturer, and the other sectors comes to this group in order to discuss about this common topic, which is related with the green hydrogen.
So it's a huge group.
It is.
From SIGRE.
Right. Yeah, completely different as we used to have. Yeah. But is that true that it will be a big group and maybe a good conversation will come out and documents and so on?
What impact does the production of green hydrogen have to the energy grid? There must be an impact from a technical point of view.
Exactly. This is the biggest advantage due to the relationship that we have with different companies in order to study better how to build up a new hydrogen plant. Because we know that the electrolysis process is not new, it's defined already, that it will generate some harmonics or reactive power and so on. So we have to fulfill all the standards related with this network compliance. And in that case, we have to start before the equipments are on the substation, for example. It would be nice to have a completely view or to offer some better solutions related with investments and also related with maintenance. The network should be prepared for the new hydrogen plants installation.
How can such an impact look like? Is there an impact on the harmonics from the grid, for example?
Exactly. There are some standards utilities use to fulfill. And so in that case, when some investors, or doesn't matter who, decided to build up a new hydrogen plant, they have to deliver at least this quality of energy to the network. So in that case, the combination that we have as a solution related with the tap changer and also the filters, which is part of our portfolio, so we can offer to our customer a better investment capex, I have to say, to this new hydrogen plant. In that case, we used to be informed in advance as soon as they are planning to have this plant. So in order to start together with them, the better solution.
There is an impact, when I understand that correctly. However, there are already solutions available for these impacts. To bring your personal perspective in, there is a plan already to 2050. Is there a personal wish from your side, or where do you want to see the green hydrogen production, Helton?
There are different countries, as I said, which they presented already the plan for the hydrogen production. And I have to say, Christian, that I heard from the last days in a conversation also with a delegation from Brazil who visited us here at MR, that we are part of the new industrial revolution. The lady just used this sentence. And for me, it was really impressive because it's true, because it's nothing new. It's happened already. And so we have to prepare for this transition. And at the end, it would be good, according to all the studies, the specialists and so on. They used to say this is the way to come for the future.
Yeah. All right. So you have a very positive view into the future, especially for the green hydrogen production. Yeah. And it's a must to consider it in regards to the decarbonization of the factories, the energy sectors, the utility companies, storage topics, and so on. It goes hand in hand when we want to fulfill all that targets which are agreed on in the Paris Agreement.
We have to say that this transition, it will be not related only to produce hydrogen as a molecule, but we have to consider all the networking. So we are planning new transmission lines. We are planning new substations. Everything should be prepared for this energy transition, not only focus on the hydrogen. We have some advantages in order to be in this business right now.
So it's then what you mentioned also earlier, we get already involved early. So it's as a hint, if there is some project upcoming, everybody who is affected should be involved on an early stage to make a proper planning of that, to be aware of all the impacts. I would say that the grid is ready, substation is set up for that, the filters we mentioned, the tap changer, the transformer, all the assets.
Exactly. You're right. You're absolutely right. And to be honest, as soon in an early stage, we can define also better solutions for these new substations. So which means less costs, for example.
Maintenance free, you mentioned.
Maintenance free, exactly. So we have some advantages when we are in the early stage in connection with these sectors.
It will be then improved over the time.
Exactly.
Also technology-wise, it goes on and on and on.
Yeah, MR is working already on new technologies and also new solutions for not only for the hydrogen, but also other sectors. So we have a very bright future, I have to say.
I'm curious about the future and about the solutions, what are upcoming. I think it's a very interesting field in which you are active. So I'm very happy that you gave me and, of course, all our audience a very nice insight, technical-wise, into this topic. So I have to say thank you very much for that.
Thank you, too, for the invitation and in this collaboration. Thanks so much, Christian.
Thank you for watching or listening. I hope you also found today's content very interesting. See you next time.